The rest is here, and you are not sure you deserve it. That specific discomfort, the Saturday morning arrival of the rest that was designed for you and that you cannot quite receive because something in you is still running the accounting, is what this prayer is for. Not the person who is too tired to rest, the person who is tired enough to need the rest and who cannot fully receive it because the earning feels incomplete. The list of the unfinished is real. The project that is still open, the conversation that was supposed to happen this week and did not, the thing that needed doing that got deferred to next week, the version of yourself that the week was supposed to produce and that the week did not quite produce. The accounting runs through the Saturday morning and concludes that the rest is not yet merited. That the person who rests without finishing is the person who is getting away with something. And the accounting is wrong. Not wrong that the list is real. The unfinished is genuinely unfinished. The thing that did not happen genuinely did not happen. The accounting of the incomplete is accurate. What is wrong is the premise that the rest requires the completion, that the Sabbath is the reward for sufficient output, that the lying down in green pastures is earned by the adequate performance of the week's requirements. His word declares in the book of Mark, chapter 2, verse 27, that the Sabbath was made for man, not man for the Sabbath. Made for, not earned by. The rest was designed for the person, not as the prize for the adequate week, as the provision for the person who needs it, you. This Saturday, with the unfinished list and the incomplete week and the version of yourself that has not yet fully arrived, the rest was made for that person, for you, as you are, today. Before we enter this prayer, write in the comments right now, Lord, I receive the rest I did not earn. I stop the accounting. I trust that the rest was made for me. Write it as the receiving, not the deserving. The receiving. Subscribe and come back tomorrow morning. The Sunday prayer prepares the week with the soul that the Saturday rest restored. Share this prayer with someone who is working through their Saturday rest rather than receiving it. Now let us receive what was made for us, not earned by us. Lord, my God and my Father, I come before you on this Saturday morning and I name the accounting that is running. The unfinished project. It is still there. It will be there Monday morning, regardless of whether the rest is received today or not. The resting does not complete it, and the working through the Saturday does not complete it either. The Saturday work produces a fraction of what the Monday fresh start would produce, and costs the Monday's freshness in the exchange. The accounting that says work through the Saturday to make progress on the unfinished is not even accurate as accounting. The rest produces the Monday that produces the completion. The Saturday push produces the tired Monday that produces less, but I know that is not really what the accounting is about. The accounting is not strategic. It is moral. The sense that the person who rests without completing is a person of less discipline, less dedication, less commitment to the things that matter. The rest without completion feels like a statement about character rather than a strategic decision about output. And the character concern is not so easily answered by the productivity calculation. So I bring the character concern here. The sense that I did not do enough this week to have earned the rest, that the rest is for the person who gave more than I gave, that something in me is too small, too insufficient, too incomplete to simply receive what was prepared. And I want to name what this character concern is actually doing. It is not protecting the work ethic, it is protecting the self. The person who does not rest is often the person who is afraid of what the rest will reveal. When the motion stops, the interior becomes more visible. The grief that was being outrun. The loneliness that the busyness was keeping at a manageable distance. The questions about direction that the productivity was preventing from being asked. The rest that is refused is sometimes the fear of the honest encounter with the interior that the rest makes possible. If that is part of what is keeping the accounting running, this prayer is also for that. The interior that would be present in the rest is not the enemy. It is the truth that the rest was made to allow the person to face. In the presence of the God who is close to the brokenhearted, who receives what the motion was running from. The rest is the safe space for the honest interior. Receive both. Your word declares in the book of Psalms, chapter 127, verse 2, that in vain you rise early and stay up late, toiling for food to eat, for he grants sleep to those he loves. Grants, not earns, not achieves through sufficient toil, grants to those he loves. The love is the basis, not the output, not the completed list, the love. And the love is not contingent on the week's performance. The rest is granted to the loved person, that is you, not because the week was enough, because the love is constant. Lord, I receive the rest I did not earn. I stop the accounting. I trust that the rest was made for me. Father, I want to understand something about where the earn your rest belief came from and why it is wrong. It came from a confusion between the work ethic that is genuinely good and the rest ethic that is equally necessary. The work ethic says, give fully, show up completely, do the work with everything you have. That is right and real and worth maintaining. The rest ethic says, receive the rest with the same completeness that the work was given with. Receive it fully. Actually lie down in the green pasture rather than lying down while reviewing the list of what the pasture interrupted. The confusion makes the rest a reward for sufficient work rather than a rhythm alongside the work. And the rhythm is the design. Work and rest, giving and receiving, output and replenishment, neither is the reward for the other. Both are the design. The person who only works has confused the work ethic for the whole of the design. The person who only rests has made the same error in the other direction. The rhythm is the whole design. And the Saturday rest is the rhythm's provision, not the week's reward. And something about the earn your rest belief that is worth naming directly. It is never satisfied. The person who requires completion before resting never arrives at the completion that would satisfy the requirement. There is always the next unfinished thing. The accounting always finds the gap between what was done and what could have been done. The earn your rest belief is the belief that has no satisfying answer, because the threshold keeps moving. And here is the evidence. The person who finally rests after completing enough has not rested because they completed. They rested because they made peace with the incompleteness and decided the rest was more important than the next completion. They arrived at exactly the decision this prayer is inviting on the front end of the day rather than the back end. The only difference is when the decision is made. Make it now, before the Saturday has been spent on the earning. The person who receives the rest without earning it is not weaker than the person who will not rest until it is earned. They are wiser. They understand what the rest is for. Your word declares in the book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 8 through 10, to remember the Sabbath day by keeping it holy. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work, but the seventh day is a Sabbath to the Lord your God. 6 days. Then the seventh, the design, not the reward. The built-in rhythm of the creation itself. The universe was built on this rhythm. The rest was woven into the fabric of the design before any human being had the chance to earn or not earn it. It is not the reward for the adequate 6 days. It is the seventh day. Built in, designed in, given. For the person who showed up for the 6 days, however imperfectly, you showed up for the 6 days. The seventh is here. Receive it. Lord, I received the rest I did not earn. I stopped the accounting. I trust that the rest was made for me. Lord, I want to receive something about what the full rest, the actually received rest, not the lying down while listing rest, does that the earned rest could never do. It restores what the earning depletes. The person who requires completion before resting is using the rest to recover from the additional depletion that the completion push added to what the week already depleted. The rest is doing damage control. But the rest that is received fully, the rest of the person who stopped the accounting and lay down in the green pasture without the list, is not doing damage control. It is doing restoration. The difference between recovering from the additional damage and actually restoring what was spent is the difference between the earned rest and the received rest. The received rest reaches places the earned rest never reaches. The soul that is still running the accounting while the body lies down does not receive the soul restoration. The soul rest requires the actual stopping of the accounting, the genuine release of the Saturday to the rhythm rather than the task list. And here is what the soul restoration specifically provides that the body rest cannot. The reconnection to the reason the work matters. The person who has been in the motion of the work for 5 days without stopping can lose the sense of why the work was worth the motion. The doing separated from the meaning. The soul restoration reconnects the doing to the meaning. The refreshed soul returns to the Monday work with the why intact, not just the energy to continue, the reason for continuing. The refreshed purpose is the gift of the soul rest that the accounting while lying down could never produce. And the soul that receives the genuine rest emerges on Sunday morning different from the soul that was still accounting through the Saturday, lighter, more genuinely present, more capable of the week that follows. Take a breath right now. A full Saturday breath. Not the breath of the person who is pausing between tasks, the breath of the person who stopped the accounting, who received the rest that was made for them rather than earned by them, the breath of the person who is actually in the Saturday rather than in the unfinished list. That breath is the beginning of the genuine rest. The soul follows the breath. The accounting quiets when the breath is full. Your word declares in the book of Psalms, chapter 23, verse 2 through 3, that he makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He refreshes my soul. Makes me. The shepherd makes the lying down, not waits for the sheep to complete the work and then grants the pasture. Makes. The provision comes before the earning could be completed. The pasture was there before the sheep arrived. The rest was prepared before the week produced the output. The shepherd makes the lying down available to the sheep that has been going. All week, imperfectly, actually, lie down. The shepherd made the pasture. The accounting can wait. It will not be resolved by Sunday. But the soul will be refreshed, and the refreshed soul makes better progress on Monday than the unrefreshed soul that worked through the Saturday made on the depleted Sunday. Lord, I receive the rest I did not earn. I stopped the accounting. I trust that the rest was made for me. Father, I want to ask for something specific for this Saturday. The permission to be present in it, not the presence of the person who is managing the rest toward maximum recovery. The actual presence, the Saturday morning coffee received as the Saturday morning coffee rather than as the calorie input before the next output. The person across the table received as the person rather than as the relationship that needs maintenance. The June Saturday received as this specific, unrepeatable June Saturday rather than as the gap between last week's work and next week's work. The present Saturday is a gift. Specific, dated, not available tomorrow. The Saturday that is received in its presence is the Saturday that is actually experienced. The Saturday that is managed toward recovery is the Saturday that passes through the person without being received. And the person who arrives at Sunday, having received the Saturday, is the person who was actually in it. That is worth the receiving. And the specific Saturday that is present this morning, June 20th, will not exist again. The particular quality of this summer Saturday, the light of a June morning, the specific people who share the day, The unrepeatable combination of what today holds, all of it available only today. The accounting person will miss it. The received rest person will have it. For keeps. In the specific memory of the Saturday that was actually present rather than managed through. Your word declares in the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 1 and 2, that there is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens. A time to be born and a time to die. The time is real. The Saturday is its time, not the time for completing, for resting, for receiving, for being present to what this specific day holds that no other day holds. The time is now. Receive it. Be present to this Saturday. The unfinished will be there Monday. The earning will have its season. The Saturday is the receiving season. And the person who receives the Saturday rather than working through it arrives at Monday with something that the working through person does not have, the actual rest. The soul restored, the capacity renewed, the genuine readiness for the week that the received rest produces and that the managed rest cannot. Father, as this prayer closes, the accounting is still there. The list has not shortened. The incomplete is still incomplete. The project is still open. The version of yourself that did not fully arrive this week is still forming. All of that is true and will be true on Monday morning, and the rest was made for you anyway. For the person with the open project and the incomplete list and the still forming version of themselves, the Sabbath was made for man. For the actual man, the actual woman, with the actual week they actually had, not the adequate week that would have earned the rest, the real week with its real incompleteness, and the rest was made for that week's person. Specifically, without the completion as the prerequisite, your word declares in the book of Matthew, chapter 11, verse 28, that Jesus says, "Come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." Come, as you are, weary and burdened, and with the unfinished list and the incomplete week. Come, the rest is given, not earned, given, to the one who comes. You came, the rest is given. Receive it fully today. The accounting is stopped. The list is waiting for Monday. And the Saturday, this specific, unrepeatable, made-for-you Saturday is here, for the person who is loved rather than the person who earned it. You are that person. Receive the rest. Lord, I receive the rest I did not earn. I stop the accounting. I trust that the rest was made for me. That is the declaration this Saturday begins from. The accounting was named and stopped. The earning was not the basis. The love is the basis. And the rest that was made for the loved person is here now for the receiving, not after the completion. Now, to everyone who prayed with me this morning, go back to the comments and write it one final time. Lord, I receive the rest I did not earn. I stop the accounting. I trust that the rest was made for me, and then receive the Saturday, fully, present, without the list running in the background. The rest was made for you. Take it. May the Lord receive the accounting and hold the unfinished in his hands so that your hands can receive the rest they were designed to receive. May the earn your rest belief be gently corrected by the one who designed the Sabbath before any human being had the chance to earn it. May the Saturday be present rather than managed. May the soul lie down in the green pasture that was prepared before the week produced any output. And may you arrive at Sunday having been truly rested, not recovered, restored, by the Sabbath that was made for you. In Jesus' name, amen.